This is Brian Rezny, president of Rezny Wealth Management, bringing you an important update about the economy and the investment markets. Well, some great news that came yesterday. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about trade and tariffs from our current administration. And I will tell you, just as a quick education, the U.S. has been the piggy bank of the world for decades and decades, more than 30 or 40 years. And I can tell you that just simply from various businesses I was involved in many decades ago, and how trade essentially really hurt a lot of businesses and the middle class and manufacturing in this country, amongst other industries. Well, anyway, yesterday our current administration has basically put together a broad deal for the EU, European Union, about trade and tariffs to basically drop these and basically have more fair trade. I firmly believe you're going to see China, Mexico, Canada, all areas of the world, because again, they need us more than they need them. The problem is past administrations did nothing about this, and unfortunately it does have a negative impact across the board for the U.S. and for most businesses, if not all businesses. So we like what we're seeing on the trade and tariffs. This is the beginning step. This is a very, very big positive, not only for our economy short term, but definitely in the long term. One of the comments I want to make about the general market. I had a client ask me, Brian, it seems like the economy is doing well, but our account isn't going up that fast. Why is that? Folks, just because the equity market, or let's say the overall economy is doing well, does not translate into the market just going right up. Sometimes it just sits there and does this kind of back and forth measure for months, sometimes a year and a half. It happens all the time. So remember, just because the economy is good doesn't mean investments or assets are just going to skyrocket up. Sometimes they just kind of trade in a range. We've seen that most of this year, 2018. Now we're off to a pretty good start for this third quarter of this year, and I firmly believe the good economy will ultimately translate into equity prices and asset prices of various investments going higher the rest of this year and really over the next 3 to 5 years. So again, while we always would like to see investment accounts go up every single month or every single year, sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. Sometimes, like in, let's say, a year 2016, the markets did the same thing. Even though the economy was good, the investment markets basically went nowhere. But then in 2017, substantial big returns. That's not a guarantee to the future, but that's how investment works. An investor needs to be patient. So just because your accounts do go up every single day, because the economy is good, folks, that's pretty normal. But we are happy about what we're seeing not only in the U.S. economy, but the emerging market economies. We've made some adjustments to some of our portfolios to get a little bit more action on the growth side for the second half of the year. We are seeing some areas of value, as I've talked about in past updates, but we're seeing corporate earnings at record numbers. Companies are growing. Tax reductions for corporate tax numbers. The individual is doing very well. In fact, we're seeing larger paychecks because of that. We're seeing some wage inflation, wages actually going up. The positives you would expect in the economy are there. Eventually, that should and hopefully will translate into higher investment prices, meaning performance on your investment account. If you're a client of our firm and you have any questions about your portfolio or your account, or you need to schedule a review, please call the office and do so. And as always, we like getting your questions and your phone calls, so make sure you do call us. And as always, we appreciate your business, your trust, and your referrals. We do have in our scheduling currently some updates for clients, some client luncheons coming up in September. So watch your emails. And we're also looking at booking this year's cruise for clients on the Sanibel Princess. Last year, as you know, we had to change venue at the last minute because of the hurricane. Hopefully no hurricanes this year, but we are looking now at November the 7th for the Sanibel cruise. Put that in your calendar. There'll be an official announcement hopefully in the next week or so, just to give you a heads up. And again, call the office if you have questions, and make sure you have yourself a safe and profitable day.